I should start with what is a mentor. A mentor is a person of guidance to usually a young child who is labeled at risk or just doesn't have the support system they need. Mentoring is the mutual relationship between two individuals with a desire for development, and the key word in that is being mutual. Without it wanted from both parties, it's usually not too successful, so that's why the key word is mutual in that. If help is wanted, mentorships can create incredible lifelong bonds between the child and mentor. Mentoring provides affection, guidance, and strength with their personal and professional lives. They provide lifelong skills needed to pursue a successful career path. And sometimes in life we are lucky enough to just meet that one person that becomes our mentor without even trying. Through my many hours of research and volunteering, I have found many things and many benefits of a mentor instead of disadvantages. Through my volunteering at Girls Inc. and the Beau Youth Center, I discovered that, especially at Girls Inc., it was more of a feminist support, more so than an individual mentor program. They weren't necessarily bashing men, but they were hyping women up to be equal and just as powerful as men, which was pretty impressive because that doesn't happen too often nowadays. They reassured often how the girls were strong, independent, and beautiful in their own ways. It was something that I found personally to be very important because I think it's very important to be reminded all of those things on a daily basis. And without this program, many of the girls wouldn't have been offered any of that. They came from often low-income families with usually the dad not present and the mom working all the time. So without this program, they wouldn't have had the support they needed and oftentimes would have led lives full of drugs, illegal activity, and oftentimes sad fact is that many girls would have ended up pregnant by the time they were 16. With my research, I found that the link between having a stable support system and confidence is very obvious, and when you have someone that is constantly reassuring you instead of telling you what you're doing wrong, it overall creates a better person and a better image of oneself. Mentors do provide the affection needed to build oneself, and without that, many of these girls would have had low self-confidence, if any self-confidence at all. Many children who grow up without a stable support system are often very harsh on themselves, and they lack someone to build them up, therefore resulting in low self-confidence. And with a mentor who can provide stability and affection is one of the key aspects in building one's persona. So for guidance, especially when I was volunteering, I noticed that both places, the guidance was a major part of the program. It was probably the most important thing was guidance, and having a healthy person to go to reflect on and to talk to about issues instead of figuring them out themselves. So whether it was drama, homework, life issues, every child at either of the programs that I was volunteering at both found one person that they could stick to and relate to and talk to. And even in my short time at Girls Inc., I had girls coming to me and talking to me about their lives. And it was kind of nice to be able to help someone and teach them what I think are proper skills to cope with and to work through their problems with. Healthy problem-solving skills were also emphasized at both programs. Instead of fighting verbally or physically, they were taught to talk it out, think through their steps, to express how they feel to the other person, instead of bottling it up or expressing it physically or very harshly verbally. Girls would typically gravitate towards the girls, which is understandable, and guys would typically gravitate towards the guys because it was easier to relate with, and guys handle issues differently than girls, and so I think if it was mixed, it wouldn't have gone too well. It probably would have gone okay, but I think it's better if the girls stuck with the girls for the mentors and the boys stuck with the boys. As you can see in this picture, this is Devin. I work with him at the youth center, and he's very, very good with children. He has grown a bond with all of these boys, especially Luke. And over the course of the summer, these boys all gravitated towards Devin and looked to them for help with sports, girls, their life, and just to have fun. And Devin, I thought, was one of the best examples of a mentor I found in either of the places I volunteered, because he put the children first, and he was very relatable with them. He made them feel important. He made them feel equal instead of him being the more superior of the two. So for me, this picture really shows both the guidance and confidence needed with both of these. With educational support, I also saw at both organizations, both promoted education and proper studying habits. They were promoted to do their homework right as they got there, after they'd gone outside, gotten some of their energy out, and were ready to sit down and focus, which was really awesome. Instead of just forcing them to do their homework, they promoted healthier studying habits and got them to almost enjoy doing their homework because they had so much fun doing their homework. Studying was also promoted, as well as just doing homework. They were also induced to studying, and they were pushed to study, and they were taught proper studying habits, which was really awesome, because I think it's very important to learn good studying habits from a young age to bring through your life. I also got to witness firsthand the girls' excitement about doing their homework and getting it right, thanks to the praise from the staff, which I thought was really important, because even if you do your homework and it's not right, they still were supporting you. They were still, instead of saying that's wrong, they showed you how to do it, and they showed you different ways that might make it easier for you. And I thought that was really cool to watch that. Personally, overall, my experience with both of these organizations were incredible. I thought they were both awesome organizations. I really liked Girls Inc., and I really liked the empowerment that they provided these young girls. And the things that they came up with to show support for these girls were incredible. They had Beethoven to Beyonce, which was my favorite unit they did. It was talking about women empowerment through the decades in music industry. They also were doing a lot of cool self-esteem boosting activities every day. Like every day they'd sit in a circle and they'd each say one thing that they didn't like about themselves, and the girl to the right of them would have to say one thing that they liked about themselves, and say, just to build one's self-esteem, because oftentimes if you do come from a broken home, you're not going to have that support that you need to build up your self-confidence. I also found with my research too, oftentimes it was saying, the younger you get into a mentorship program, the better it is for the child being mentored. You start from a young age, it supports them through their high school, their academic career, and usually these bonds create lifelong friendships, and they oftentimes lead through their high school career, their college career, and even into their professional career, which I thought was really cool. I also saw that there was an incredible increase of productivity in these young children that are being mentored and taught the skills that they are needed to live through their lives compared to those who don't. And oftentimes, like I was saying, they live life of crime, violence, illegal activity, just trying to make things work for them because they were not taught these skills from such a young age. So I think that was really important for me. And another thing I noticed was the emotional support that was created. Some of these girls were just so sad when they came in, and their faces would light up the second they saw these mentors, and that provided me with such an awesome feeling. It really made me want to get into going back into volunteering more, even when my project's done, and just provide these girls with the support that they need and that they can't always get, because I feel like I could be a good mentor towards them. And I also found this really cool fact about education that it said, research has shown with the support of a mentor, 55% more of children were meant to go to school. So I thought that was really cool too. Sorry, I just pulled up the wrong one. And I guess my personal connection to all of this is I have, as my dad, I talked about my dad at the beginning of the project, and I had gotten some facts wrong about that. He was not in the Boys and Girls Club from the time that I thought he was. It was more so on and off. But I think the Boys and Girls Club was an awesome program for my dad to be in, because it really helped him, and I think really supported him, and he met some really good people in that to help get through his hard time, because I really think without that program, I wouldn't be where I am today, and I know he wouldn't be there today. So it was really cool to watch firsthand a nonprofit organization like this help my dad and help others. So myself, and I would have changed. I wish I was more prepared. I definitely feel like I wasn't as prepared as I could have been. Even with my volunteering, it was like the last minute. I couldn't find anywhere that would take me, and last minute I found Girls Inc. So I wish I had set that up a lot sooner, and I had decided my project sooner than I did.
Okay, so more thinking about your project ahead of time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, any other questions?